Hi and Assalamualaikum. I am Jannah&Nabila with my partner Jannah. Gonna review regarding crustacean parasite infection reported on fishes in Southeast Asia. Okay, a large variety of parasite have been infect a large number of fish. One of them is crustacean parasite, and this parasitic crustacean comprising species of Barracuda, also known as Argulus, Copepoda, and also Isopoda. Okay, almost of them are ectoparasite, and there are numerous and parasitized fish in freshwater, brackish, and marine environment. Firstly is the most dominant parasites. Miss Gona and Getu 2016 reported that there are main groups of parasitic crustacean affecting fish species which are Barracuda, Copepoda, and Isopod. Okay, members of Barracuda and Isopod parasite are relatively large in both sexes, while Copepod is the most common crustacean parasite. Okay. It is also stated by P. and Tongutai 1997 that the most common pathogenic parasites among crustacean parasites is copepod. While for the most dominant of copepod species, Leopold and Lim 2002 stated that Lernia causes the most problem in Southeast Asia. This is because Lernia cyprinaceae is distributed globally and has been recorded in 45 species of cyprinids. Okay, so from here we can see that the most dominant parasite belongs to the subclass Copepoda or the Cyclopoida family of Lernidae and in genus of Lernia. It is scientifically known as Lernia cyprinaceae. Okay, Tarmizi 2003 stated that Lernia cyprinaceae has been recorded in many places around the world, and Marco Gliss 1991 strengthen the fact that this species has been found in Asia. As you can see from here, this is how Lernia cyprinaceae, or commonly known as anchorworm, looks like. Okay, and how it attached to the fish. Okay, next is the most countries reported with Lernia cyprinaceae infection. ADB and ACA 1991 reported that Lernia is found in India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Thailand, Indonesia, Peninsula Malaysia, Vietnam, China, and Japan. Okay, in 1976, ADB or NACA 1991 reported that this parasite reached epizootic levels, destroying about 30% of fish in over 7,500 hectares of ponds, rice field, and open waters in West Java and North Sumatra. So from here, we can see that the countries from Southeast Asia with high reported cases are India, Thailand, Indonesia, Peninsula Malaysia, and Vietnam. Okay, next is the more susceptible fish species to Lernia crustacean parasite infection. Okay, firstly, Lester and Robert 1995 reported that Lernia cyprinaceae is distributed widely with the global translocation of carp, with recorded in 45 species of cyprinids and also in other fish orders. Okay, while in Southeast Asia, Lernia is found on bighead carp and silver carp. This is stated by Sheriff and Somerville 1986. Okay, the latest one is by Leopold and Lim, stated that the Leonesis occurs in Vietnam on bighead carp, grass carp, silver carp, common carp, crucian carps, and snakehead, while in Indonesia are on common carp, P. gonionotus, spotted gourami, and mudfish, and also catfish. Okay, so we said that a few fish species stated before are susceptible to be infected with this Lernia crustacean parasite. Okay, next is the most susceptible type of fish to Lernia crustacean parasite infection, either in wild or fish being captured. Okay, so firstly, Kabata 1985 and ADB or NACA 1991 stated that Lernia have been recorded on a wide range of captured fish species, and strengthened with the statement from Leopold and Lim 2002 that Lanier caused the most problems in warm water aquaculture in Southeast Asia and Indian continent and involved a cage captured fish. Okay, Seng et al. 2006 stated that the mortality of a large number of fish is seldom observed in wild. When it does occur, it is more likely to be due to the environmental deterioration. However, when in confined net cage environment, mortality is often seen. Okay, so concluded here, actually the fish being captured is more prone to linear infection, which specifically in secluded areas such as confined net cage capture system.
For the host body part which is more susceptible for the parasite infection is first gills. Some of the fish species in the Laguna de Bay, which is Grossobius gyrus, is infected by the parasite. Next is Mugil cephalus, which is infected by the adult Algacillus species. And next, Scatophagus argus, which is infected by the adult Calicus acanthopagri. For the next part is the skin. Some of the species are Ophicephalus stratus from the Laguna de Bay and the Siganus javus, which is infected by the adult Calicus epidemicus. And next part is nasal cavity. The adult Tysonid species has infected the Scatophagus argus, and for Salmotoid isopod is infect the groupers in the Bali. And lastly, for the inner operculums, the fish species are Elteronema tetradactylum, which is infected by the adult Parapitallus hirsutus. And next, Siganus argus, which is infected by the Calicus cf quadratus. And lastly, Scatophagus argus, which is infected by the adult Calicus acanthopagri. Next is the common symptoms associated with the parasite problem. Some of them are gill erosions, impaired respiration, which can lead to the atrophy of the gills, mechanical damage, hemorrhage, epithelial hyperplasia, anemia with growth retardation, granuloma or necrotic lesions, which caused by the anchorworm infection, ulceration, where the secondary infection may be promoted, and lastly, the lesion of the integument. For the common treatment that can solve or control the parasite problem, which are effective quarantine and certification system. These are key to prevent and control the exotic aquatic parasites and disease. Quarantines is a period of isolation of newly transported fishes until possibility of introducing any pathogens. And for the certification, it is to ensure that the facilities from which fish or other aquatic organisms originate have been inspected, either by the exporting or importing country, and found to be free from specific pathogens. Fish quarantine and certification regulations are formulated to prevent potentially dangerous pathogens from entering and leaving the country. Next is manually removal of parasites. It's more applicable for fish that infected by the crustacean parasite, which is relatively larger than other parasites. However, extreme care and skill are needed as some parasites, for example Lanier and Argacillus, are strongly attached to the host. Next, management practice. Some of best methods to control crustacean parasites such as castode is through application of good management practice. For example, draining the ponds and subsequently allow them to completely dry out to eliminate infected intermediate hosts and castor eggs. After that, liming the ponds. The best control method is not to introduce infected fish into the lakes or the pond. Routine like reducing stocking density and water quality management likely to reduce the impact of the parasite copypods. Lastly is for the common treatment is chemical treatment. It is effective for the pond system. For example, salt water bath with prolonged immersion and also the formalin bath with prolonged immersion. Lastly is the impact of parasite problem. The parasite can cause serious damage in the aquaculture. Next is also can cause mass infections and mortalities of the cultured fish. For example, the Jannah&Nabila from the fish pond in the Philippines. Besides, it also can cause the destruction of host tissue which resulting from the pressure of the parasite body. The parasite also can cause the great economic loss by the mass infections. For example, in the Himalayan of Philippines. Next, it also can cause the mortality which has been reported in the affected Japanese ornamental carp. And lastly, the parasite also can cause the catastrophic losses which is resulted for disease outbreak and lead to the high mortality level.